So this lesson is a little bit of a reiteration of the last few lessons that we've been talking about. Um, and that is, part of this level is really like supporting and making life dreams come true. So both, making your own life dreams come true, making your relationship life dreams come true, but also supporting your partner and their life dream, right? How can you be like the best teammate? That's really what we're trying to do here, right? Teamwork makes the dream work. If you are going against each other's dreams and you're feeling as though the dreams are in direct competition for time, resources, right? People will say so and so is generous. How are they generous with their time, right? So where have you been supportive of your partner's dreams within the relationship? Where can you honestly say you have maybe been a dream killer, or you have been a wet blanket? And I want you to think about your wet blanket-ness, right? I want you to try to think about where your wet blanket-ness may come from. Is it fear? Is it insecurity? Is it, were you raised in a house with no? Right? Again, is somebody doing something and in your mind, well, that shouldn't be how it's done. It should be done this way. Or, well, that just seems really like huge and big, and what about everything else? And you just start in with all of the, well, have you thought about this? Have you thought about that? And so, I've heard other people say it's kind of like a popping your balloon, like your balloon of excitement. Like, hey, I would love, I was really thinking how great it would be if, we sold everything and moved to Hawaii. Well, that's a terrible idea. What would the kids go to school? Or, oh, I've heard the schools in Hawaii are terrible. Or, but you hate the sun. Or, I mean, like, right? 10,000 things. Your partner knows those things. They're there, and there absolutely is a time and a place to talk about how do we do the thing. Right now, an introduction of an excitement is happening. It might not even be a dream. It might just be like this thought popped in my head and I want to talk about it. Or it's something I've come to you and said I would like to talk to you about this thing, and I've invited you into a conversation even. And I've told you I want to talk about this particular thing. How are you showing up to that? If you at any time have been told, or you have an inkling of awareness that you tend to be a wet blanket or a balloon popper, how can you better show up for that conversation? How can you show up as your best partner, team member self, where you are going to be in full support, encouraging, saying, I got your back. How do we make this work? Your partner is going to have all their own worries, fears, logistics they're going to want to talk about. The first thing out of your mouth does not need to be the negative. We can very easily say like, oh my God, that sounds exciting. You sound super pumped up, but tell me more about this. Okay, and as you show interest, your partner too will look like, okay, this is a safe space. So I can also come down and be like, hey, I'm just really being excited and dreaming. And if you see that your partner is not on board and is being more of the wet blanket, then we dig in. Even if that wasn't necessarily like the full dream we wanted, we start like, well, yeah, well, you're just going to give negative. Well, then I'm just going to go into the positive. And now there's no intentionality. I'm doing that because you don't want me to, because you're being a shitty team member. You're telling me all the things I already know. And so fuck off. You don't think I can do it? I'm going to go do it. And then I'm not coming to you for support. It's more of a I told you so versus like, whew, look what we were able to do together. Because very little is ever done alone, right? That man who, or that woman or man who was able to climb a career ladder in the way that they were, at the speed in which they were, or they were able to start and scale and make that business amazingly badass and profitable because someone was holding it down at the house. So they're fully a part of that. That's an individual, and that's a supporting of that individual dream, because it might even be a part of the whole relationship dream of like, hey, we can make all these things happen if I take this job, but it's also going to mean we're going to sacrifice some stuff. We're going to sacrifice quality of time together. You're going to have to do more of the child rearing on your own. How is that going to affect us when I come in and out from travel? Is that going to work for us? So to say, well, I'm off here working so hard and you just get to stay at home, well, like, that's bullshit. I'm home holding everything down and you feel just fine leaving because you know I got it. The same isn't always true in the other direction. If a woman wanted to let travel at that frequency, or even want to just go do something fun, do they have the same sense of my person has it, I don't have to worry? Like, that's also a part of the dream, making the dream come true, is that we have to step in areas where maybe we didn't think we wanted to or had to, or we have to help our partner feel and have that trust that like, heck yeah, I got it if you need to go. But acknowledge that then that dream is not just being achieved individually. I mean, it's often the argument of like alimony and dividing assets when one person was the one that actually physically started the company and the other one maybe was at home raising the family. That person was able to do what they were able to do because this person did the thing that she did or he did. We cannot forget that part of it either. When we are asking someone to sacrifice relationship stuff or family stuff so that someone else can kind of achieve a dream, which then hopefully will be helping an overall family dream come true as well. Now, what I'm not saying, because what I have said all along is this is a working document. So you can always come back and say, I know that we had said you trying to climb a ladder at this pace was going to work because we felt like we were going to be able to retire much earlier and have all that time together. But like, I would like to kind of talk about how this isn't working for me and where I feel like we might be, where I don't know if we accounted for certain things. Like, I don't think we realized certain parts of this when we first created this dream, right? I know there's some things we cannot get out of, but what can we start to do so that, again, everyone feels good about it and that we don't feel, well, you said you would and that's what we did. And it's like, yeah, I know. And we might have to hold that, but can I voice my frustrations? I can still voice my frustrations and ask if we can adjust something within this dream, because I didn't realize how I was going to feel when we first made it, once we were in it. So I really want you to think about how you've been a dream cheerleader, maybe where you've been a wet blanket. Do you find that you're often the dream cheerleader for everybody else, but there isn't a lot coming out of you? Maybe no one's even asking you. Goes back to our love maps. So we have to write that stuff too. Like, you know what? I probably have dreams I haven't thought about them, haven't been asked about them. Or maybe you'll be like, oh, maybe I do have some. Maybe when I do say things, people tell me no or have a negative wet blanketness to it. So taking the time to become, like to work on awareness is like to sit down and say, okay, well, what types of things have maybe I've brought to the table as far as what might look like dreams, and how has that been responded to? How has that then made me feel? What decisions has that then led to? How do I want this to be different moving forward? How do I want to be a dream cheerleader? What would that look like from my partner to just be supportive and open, encouraging to dreams? Again, it doesn't mean we're going to do all the things that we say we're going to do. Sometimes we're just throwing things out. My husband's a huge I bet he'll take it. He'll be like, oh yeah, and then if we move to like Bend, then we can get this, and then so-and-so can move in. I'm like, what are you talking about? Why are you bringing in your nephews living with us when, right? Like, so sometimes I have to be like, whoa, 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 whoa. We're planning now. We're not in the dream phase yet. Let's stay in the dream phase so we can find out. Often it's not like the attachment to the result. It's like, how did I want to feel when living that dream or accomplishing that dream? And that might be the bigger focus. Because often when we get to a dream, we want to say, what's next? So expanding into how I want to feel in life, in a marriage, sharing that. A good way to be a support of that is to hear what's being said and then try to do those things that you hear your partner saying. It's a whole nother way of doing this as well. All right. We're almost done with our dream section. Our next lesson's my favorite thing to talk about, which is live in the dream, right? Live in the dream, live in the moment, being present. So taking everything we learned and then also realizing that we need to stay in the moment and not spend all of our time in the future or in the past, right? In those old dreams back here or in the dreams that we keep trying to go to. Either fear is blocking us, we're not talking about them being our dream, and then we're just spending so much time in if we save enough and retire enough, everything's going to be fine. So how do we take all of what we just talked about and also live in the moment? All right, I hope you're ready. Talk to you soon.